Hey, Inspired Tribe. How's it going? Welcome to the Inspired Livestream. Our apologies for a about 4 minute delay. I know this is not what you're used to, Inspired Tribe, and so we apologize. But we're excited that you're here. My name is Jean Nolan. This is my wonderful wife, Kristin Nolan, the wise voice to the side of me.
Welcome, everyone.
And it is Monday, January 24th, 2022. 2022 and Inspired Tribe. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. We're healthy, wealthy, whole, and free. This is really important. I want to welcome everyone, the original Tribesters, the newer Tribesters, the brand new Tribesters, people that are beginning to tune into our live streams. Thank you for being here. It's wonderful to have you. Wonderful to have this opportunity to talk, to expand, and to do it in a truthful and authentic way, which is what's going to be very important for today's live stream. But before we dive into this topic, and before I even welcome you all today, I just want to say thank you to, let me see, we got an email today.
I think her name, let me see.
Okay, Kristine's gonna check exactly who we're thanking, but we got an email from someone today.
Tara.
Tara. Okay, Tara. So Tara S. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna quickly let you know what she sent us. We heard about this convoy, the truckers in Canada, and connecting with the truckers here in the U.S. But the count for this trucking for this protest is now 500,000 people, and God knows how many truckers are up in Canada, and I think on the way there. And Tara made us aware that you can actually download, and I did that. Download the Zello app. That's Zello, and that's like a CB app where you can listen. The group for this convoy is called Convoy to Ottawa, and you can find this group on the Zello app, and you can listen in and you can chat in what the truckers are talking about on the radio. It's really inspiring and awesome. And I want to just say to all the truckers and truckerettes, is that a word?
I have no idea.
Truckerettes. Thank you all. You inspire us. We love you, guys and girls out there. And you're badasses. So thank you so much for doing this. Truckers for Freedom. They are driving in a convoy to show their support for freedom and against tyranny. So here we go. Wonderful expansion. Thank you to all the truckers. And now let me welcome you all before we really dive into today's topic. So let me see who's here. I see Ananda is here and Davor. How's it going? Kako ste? Super da ste tu from Croatia. Then we have Laura from Texas. Hey, how's it going? Michael's here. Stacy's here. Wolfgang is here aus Deutschland. Hey, Wolfgang, wie geht's dir? We got Ross. We got Milton, Alan, Lee, Jay Hodge, Tina, Stewart. Welcome. Kina, Darla, Amilcar, Martin from the Canary Islands. Lee is here. Marsha's here from Sonora, California. Then we got Saskia. Hey, how's it going? Beverly, Jackie, Frank is here. Wie geht's dir, Frank? We got Linda from Belgium. Black Sky is here. Super Conscious. Nick, Rajing is here. Wonderful to see you. Soul is here. And so many more. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
Please hit the like button.
Please do hit the like button. And yeah, Inspired Tribe. As always, the intention is that we peel the onion, but that we remind ourselves of the very, very big picture. And today, it was really important to me, and this kind of has been coming through, to talk about something that once you realize and understand this, the whole game changes. And today's live stream topic is something's happening. The future is changing, and I want to dive into how the future is actually created, and who pulls the strings, and why this is so important to understand. I mean, for people who hear this for the first time, it's usually like, oh my God, I never knew this, but it makes so much sense, and I can now finally do something, change something about it. And sometimes people say, hey, you've talked about this before, or you've said something like this before. Why are you repeating this? The reason why repetition is so important, we're going to get into it. because we are being confronted and bombarded with repetitious programs in this outside world every day. And our mind is like a computer, right? It absorbs and it whatever it hears the most and whatever it perceives the most, that's how it's going to create its perception and your beliefs and what you're going to base your decisions on. So if this matrix program runs all the time, we need to run our minds even more and become even clearer. But this is big picture. This is huge picture. If you've been watching our channel, you've been here in our live streams, if you've been, watching David Icke or Max Egan, the interviews that we do, there's one theme that keeps coming up, and they're all talking about it, and they're all putting super huge importance on it, and because it is super hugely important, and that is how this force, they call it the cult or the cabal or this dark force, has one singular goal, really. And the singular goal really is to control our minds. And here is why. Okay, we're going to create this big picture here, why this is so important, but more importantly, how the future is changing because of this, because people are finally seeing this and changing it. So when people think about who creates the future, then they go, okay, who's in charge? Who has power over processes? Who can make important decisions? And then in their minds, they go through, okay, politicians, that's a certain level of power. Then, the money system, the big corporations, big tech, big pharma, that's a certain level of power that they have. And then there's, these big think tanks or the George Soroses or the Bill Gateses or these organizations. That's, kind of in the perception, that's a lot of, okay, there's a lot of power there. And these people really have power to create the future, right? That's the perception. But really, these people aren't as much the creators of a future or the future as it might seem. So I want to go quickly into what actually creates anything that we perceive in our physical reality, right? And so if you think about the origin story, any origin story, it's almost always the same in the beginning. And here's the fallacy: sometimes in the Christian religion, especially, people say in the beginning there was the word, God's word. No, 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 no. In the beginning there was God's, or the creator's, thought. But thought in itself is a little misconstrued. We are not quite there with understanding what thought really means. There's a bigger word for this. What really creates the future is what it's a word that's very it's not used very often, and very few people actually know it. It's called elementals, elemental pictures. And on Earth today, there are a handful of people that understand this to the fullest extent. And I will get to why they want your mind so badly. So, what they understand is that we have this divine spark within us. We've been given some of the same properties that the eternal consciousness, the creator, has. So, our minds are capable of actually creating reality. We know this, right? We know this now. We've studied this, whether that's through quantum physics or spirituality or simply through living life. We know that our thoughts, when they're combined with strong feelings, when they create strong images, we can actually co-create the physical reality around us. Okay, so we're not going to argue about that anymore because we all know that's a given. But these people, these few people, understand the deeper meaning of that. And what that means is they seek to implement their vision and have their vision be the future. So these people are free from all kinds of time restrictions. They don't need to work. They don't need to manage anything. All they do all day, every day, is they are immersed in their deep thoughts and create these elemental pictures and images. And because this has been given down from generation to generation, they've been taught this over many, many generations. This is like they've been initiated by their forefathers and foremothers for that purpose. And so they have learned the art of creating these images in depth, much more than most of us, even though we're working on this, right? But what they do is, because they know how to create these images that are so strong that they become the strongest image, they then, through this, manipulate bigger and bigger groups underneath them to do the physical deeds, to take the physical actions, to manipulate physical reality, so these images actually manifest in physical reality. This sounds very theoretical, but it's really how creation and how creation of physical reality works. And so the reason why they want our minds constantly occupied, why this system is even created in the way it is, where you need to get up early in the morning and you have a million things to do, and you need to work and you need to worry about stuff and pay bills, and you're constantly distracted, is because what they don't want you to find out is that you hold the same power, that you have the same ability to co-create the future. And I'm not talking about you starting a company or you, putting programs into action. That comes later. The fundamental intrinsic power through your mind, your creative mind, and through the God-given, creator-given creative force to actually create the future. And so they are occupying the whole world with their programs. So people are distracted constantly. The difference is when someone actually makes it out of the loop, out of the rat race, and they actually get quiet and get calm and do slow down and let the world be the world for a while, they tap after a while into this true creative power. And I strongly believe that the sages of the past, whether that's Jesus or Krishna or whoever we want to talk about, the sages of the past did just this. They removed themselves from society. They went somewhere to secluded places, and people think that's where they received the wisdom, of the creator. Yes, I totally believe that. But even more so, they created an extremely powerful and strong vision, elemental images that were imprinted on the quantum field or the creative field, and then they went back to society, brought about their teachings that connected with these images. And so they've created movements and ideas, and have spread wisdom that lives on, even though it's been watered down, but it still lives on. And the reason why this is so important here is because what these dark forces want to do is they want to use your mind as a weapon. They want to use your mind as a weapon because they don't want you to use your mind as a creative tool. Because think about this. In the past, before the 1940s, 1930s, before radio and later television came into play, it was much, much, much harder for mass visions to reach masses. They went through, they had speeches, they had preachers in churches, they had politicians that somehow got the word out, they had books, but there wasn't a medium that allowed for millions and millions and millions of people to see and hear a message at the same time and have it imprinted on their minds. And so what they want to do is use our minds to be their echoes, not for us to use our minds creatively, but to use their visions. So they put it in movies, they put it on the internet, everywhere, in videos, they put it everywhere. And then they keep you distracted so you can't discern, so you can't use your filtration system, so you can't actively decide, no, that's not what I want. No, that's not what. So they put this program in the minds of the people, and then the minds of the people in their fear and worry program, they echo this out there. And so these people, then, these forces, keep projecting their desired version of the future to the field with this strength that we give them, that our minds give them, that our fears and worries give them. But what is happening right now? There's a breakup in this stream like we've never seen before. On the one hand, this fear and worry program has been accelerated so much over the past months now, but on the other hand, so many people have woken up to this and are awakening to this, and are literally interrupting the scheduled programming. They're literally turning off this connection so they're not being bombarded. They're not allowing themselves to be bombarded with that fear and with those programs anymore. That's why we say, like, we repeat this like a broken record, but I will repeat this till the end of all my days, that when you go into a quiet space, that when you meditate, that when you actually connect with this true, authentic creator and with this energy, you tap into this co-creative power. And then, and this is the beautiful thing, that we have now the greatest potential. That's why there's a glitch in the matrix now. That's why something is happening. That's why you see it's like the program is crumbling or something. It's because people are turning off the connection to these worry, fear programs that are out there. They're simply cutting the cord, and they're going within, and they're realizing, no, 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 I have something else in my heart, something else completely. And then they're beginning to envision what might a beautiful future look like. And this is where you begin to tap into the power of elemental images. When you can truly begin to envision, imagine, dream, daydream, and fill this daydream with true, authentic feelings of joy, of anticipation, of freedom, of authenticity, then you are on the verge of co-creating a new path for yourself, but also in concert with others, for all of us and for the whole world. This is what the powerful momentum is. And if you can bridge the gap from thinking that these groups and organizations, through their manipulating of reality, create the future, to know that we have a much stronger creative force in our hearts and in our minds that actually creates the future. If we can realize that, we will become so much more attentive, and we will become so much more aware of what we actually dream about, think about. And I am this is a two-step thing, because on the one hand, we are seeing certain things happening right now that require some sort of proactive action from us. That's the immediate things that are happening, like these truckers, right? They have an immediate threat to their livelihoods, to their children, to the freedom. And so they are taking proactive action to promote a vision of freedom. That's one aspect of this. That's where we are active in the physical reality. It is very important. But then the next and also so important step is that we actually go into this creative mind. So our minds cannot be weaponized anymore by these dark forces as an echo chamber of their visions, and they don't need for us to want it. They just need for us to put some sort of emotion. So in other words, if you want to take a real life situation, for the past 2 years now, we've been bombarded with a program about this COVID situation, about the fear and all the horrors around it that they projected. And these people don't need us to want this COVID situation to continue. All they need for us to do is to have a fearful vision in our minds and connected with a fearful feeling in our guts or in our bellies. And then we're their echo chambers, right? Then we're projecting fearful things into the future. And so that's where you cut the program and say, no more. I will not participate in the perpetuation of this vision, because and this is now we're getting really into the nitty gritty. It's just a vision. The future is not set in stone. There is a potential. There is a potentiality for the future. And so in the past, what have these dark forces done? Out of all the prophets and all the visionaries and all the people that have spoken on the future, they always promote the ones with the grimmest and darkest prophecies, like Nostradamus, right? A lot of dark stuff. But Nostradamus's visions were actually, and that's what he said himself, and this is a very interesting thing that happened when you go to Dolores Cannon's books and how she communicated with Nostradamus. This was actually what Nostradamus said was, if humanity does not change their course, if they do not change anything, these things will come to pass. It's not these things will come to pass. If we do not change our ways, these things will come to pass. Because at any given moment, we have a trajectory. We, as a human family, create a trajectory for the future. We create a trend. If we don't interrupt and change the trend, then that's what's most likely going to unfold in our physical reality, right? But if we change the trend, as we have done oftentimes, then a new vision for the future can emerge and actually manifest. And this is what we're doing right now. We're changing the program. This is why this is so important, why the meditations are so important, why the daydreaming and the envisioning is so important. It is not about ignoring what's currently happening. It's overriding the program for what's to come. We shall not allow for, any politician, for any TV personality, for anyone any longer to use our mind as a weaponized echo chamber. Just think about it. Whenever you repeat their fearful vision, oh my God, this is so dangerous. There's only one solution, blah, 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 all these lies. No, no, no. When you cut the cord, first you've withdrawn energy. People have asked us, how do we withdraw energy from the system? That's the first thing. Cut the cord to believing the stories that are perpetuated in media and politics. They're just stories. And if you knew how this works behind the scenes, you would be completely, we have gotten the inside view. There are strategists, and there are PR companies, and there are psychologists, and they create different scenarios. Okay, if this doesn't work, let's pull this out. If this fear strategy doesn't work, let's pull this strategy out, because they see it as a means to an end. Okay, it's not about reporting the truth, or it's not about being accurate, or being authentic, or having facts. It's simply about how can we manipulate the minds of the population to further our goals. So we need to cut that cord. That's what we talk about a lot. But then what are we projecting? What are we putting into the field? Think about this. If you have been given a mind, if you have been given a soul, if you've been given a free will, then you have the potential to be just as influential with your elemental images as anyone else. But it requires focus, because you need to retrain your mind from being reactive, just reacting to what's happening around you, to becoming a active co-creator. It's very important. It's a whole different thing. And that's why we have, for years and years, truly worked on reprogramming ourselves. First, deprogramming, realizing what are those beliefs that we've been instilled with that don't serve us. Then reprogramming, which means replacing those negative beliefs with beliefs that do serve us. But not just any beliefs, authentic, truthful beliefs, but also not having those beliefs be so dogmatic that we don't allow ourselves to evolve and expand and become even more truthful in that, see even the bigger picture. It's always important that you don't allow for those beliefs to stand in the way of you seeing the real, true, authentic picture. Listen, there's so much power, so much energy that's being created right now, because people are realizing this on an intuitive level. They don't really know yet how this mechanism works. They don't know about elemental images and how powerful they are, but they feel that if they focus on the feeling of freedom, if they focus on a future where their children are free, where they can play in the streets, where there's no fear, where there's no restrictions and mandates and not an overbearing, controlling government, if they focus on a future that has beautiful nature in it, and it has friendships and kindness and love and beauty and joy and all that in it, they feel better. They feel a lot better. And all of a sudden they see a potential. All of a sudden they feel possibility. And all of a sudden ideas come up, and they meet others that feel the same way. And next thing you know, there's a truck convoy, or there's a protest for freedom, not a demonstration, not against something, pro freedom, pro kindness, pro human, pro people, right? So this is the momentum that we're seeing right now. And we can tune in, like right now, not just on the app where you can tune in with the truckers on the Zello app here. You can tune in spirit. You can tune in your mind. You can enhance this vision. And the beautiful thing is, You don't have to limit yourself as to how big this vision can be, because these dark forces, they don't limit themselves. We will continue to show you for every now and then what their ideas are, simply because the more we become aware, because they're connected to a lot of things, and sometimes we can find ourselves supporting one aspect of their vision without knowing it, because that one aspect isolated might look good to us. So if we understand what their vision is and what it all entails, we can truly withdraw our energy and truly put our energy into the things that we desire and want to co-create, in this realm. This is how the future is really created. And right now, there's a glitch. There's a glitch in the matrix, and glitches are amazing opportunities. It's like we hack into it and we begin to change it. And for those of you who've actually watched the movie The Matrix, the original movie, what was the number one message in that movie? Aside from all the special effects, aside from the realization that this is a simulation, aside from all those things, there was one message, 3 words that hopefully everyone truly took from that movie. 3 words that were the core message of that movie. Free your mind. Free your mind. That's what they've been telling you. Your mind, your life force, that is their machine. And they hijack it through all the various means so they can use it as a weapon for their cause. So when you free your mind, you take it back. You take back control over your mind. You take back control over your visions, your images, and you can actually connect it, hook it up to the real field, to the all that is field, to the creator field. And you can actually use this as a real superpower, not as a artificial intelligence superpower. Free your mind. That's the core message. Now there's 4 Matrix movies, and that's the one message. Free your mind. And now you know why. It's much stronger than we thought it is. And this is how really the creation of the future works. So now I invite you for the coming days, for the coming hours, minutes, to reimagine the future. And I don't want you to be realistic based on what you observe in reality right now. Be as creative and as open and as joyful as you want to be. Imagine the cleanest streams, the cleanest air. Imagine people of all races and colors and ethnicities and backgrounds celebrating life together. Imagine beautiful celebrations and sharing food and sharing stories and sharing songs and sharing art. Imagine the potential that we have when we take our minds back, when we free our minds and we become the co-creators of the new future. And I'm not talking about the new world order future. I'm talking about the real authentic future here. That's the message. That's the message. And I encourage you to save this live stream and please come back to it. Here's one thing. We have repeated these thoughts over and over and over again because our system was polluted. Like anyone else that's been exposed to this matrix, our system was polluted. And so we reminded ourselves, we remind each other, we talk about this, we discuss this, we say, no, don't give in. This is their program. Don't give in. Remember who you truly are. Remember your real power. Remember the power of your visions and your elemental images that you put out there. This is the moment. This is the game-changing moment. Feel it, like tune in with your heart, feel the powerful momentum. And last but not least, this is what an energy window is. An energy window is when there is so much attention and awareness in one direction that an energy window opens, which means that there is enhanced possibility for a change, for a big change. That's what we have right now. Enhanced potential for a change. So many people are focusing in on freedom. So many people are focusing in on a free future. They free their minds and they focus and zoom in on that. We have that energy window. It's open now. Let's use it. Let's use it. Let's dream it, live it, act also. Take inspired action and find and be really aware. Where am I still giving my energy to this system that wants to enslave my mind, that wants to weaponize my mind, and withdraw it. Don't go there. Don't affirm. Don't. If you don't allow it, it can't happen. You are the master. If you don't give permission, they cannot access your mind. They cannot use your mind. You have to give permission, so don't give permission. Take it back completely and fully. Let's use this energy window. Let's meditate beautifully, connect with the creator, connect with each other, send love out, send love to the freedom loving people of the world, to everyone who's in this field right now, who's energetically tuned in. And let's imprint this on the field in such a strong and powerful way that nothing else can exist next to it. Nothing that doesn't match this beautiful vibration of love, freedom, and kindness and cooperation. If it isn't up there, it's not existent. We will not allow it anymore.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Inspired Tribe. Thank you.
Metaphysical Mike sent us a contribution. Dr. Bo sent us a contribution, and Marek Adam sent us a contribution.
Marek Adam, thank you so much, all of you, for your contributions. Thank you for tuning in energetically, spiritually, in thought and mind. Please save this live stream, not because I'm such, I'm so awesome and you need to keep watching me, just because this message came through. And I just want you to remind yourself, whenever something dark creeps in, whenever a worry, a fear creeps in, come back to this. This is real. This is authentic. This is love. This is inspiration. Remind yourself and don't let up. Don't let go. This is it. This is our moment. So, Inspired Tribe, thank you for tuning in today. We will be here again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central. Also, the Yada retreat is coming up in May 5th through the 8th. We're going to be on a beach in Florida, and we're going to actually go into this field together. We're going to meditate together. We're going to go very deep. We're going to start a transformational energetic shift. We're going to talk more about it in the coming weeks. But if you're interested in joining us for this retreat, there's a limited capacity. We want to keep it small enough so we can have a very intimate experience together and get to know each other really well. But if this speaks to you, it's going to be in a secluded beach. It's very quiet, beautiful, inspiring, in the beginning of May. So just send us an email to info@inspiredchannel.net if you want more information, or book your seat, and we'll let you know how it works and what all it entails. All right, Tribe. So we'll be here again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central Standard. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all the truckers out there, the truckerettes, everyone that's supporting this, everyone that's...
Oh, Ananda sent us also a contribution. Thank you so much.
Ananda, thank you so much. Thank you all so much.
Gracia.
Oh, hvala vam puno. Hvala. Ananda I Davor. Odakle iz Hrvatske ste? I just thanked them in Croatian, one of our favorite countries.
Yes.
Yes, we got married in Croatia.
Oh.
What?
Well,
I'm sharing secrets?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm sharing secrets. All right, Tribe. So we'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central, right here on the Inspired Channel. Thank you for tuning in. There's so much love here for you. And if you feel...
What's the truckers link? Please tell again.
So the app's called Zello, Zello. And there's a group in there. I think it's the Convoy to Ottawa. And the Zello app is where you can tune in, listen, and even talk to the truckers on their radio, on their CB radio. It's really, really cool and inspiring. So if you want to do that, check it out. And also, yeah, there's 15% off in our merch store. If you feel like wearing your inspiration, wearing your freedom, supporting what we do, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, we'll be here again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central, right here on the Inspired Channel.
That's